Hello, welcome to TTVNEWS broadcast on TayNinhTV newspaper and radio television with some latest events in TayNinhTV province and across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, on the morning of November 21st, General Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa, member of the Politburo, Secretary of the Party Central Committee, standing member of the Central Military Commission, and Director of the General of Politics of the Vietnam U.S. Army, attended the ceremony celebrating the 60th anniversary of the traditional day of Division 5 Military Region 7, November 23rd, 1965 to November 23rd, 2025. Deputy Secretary of TayNinhTV Provincial Party Committee and head of the provincial delegation of the National Assembly Deputies Phạm Hồng Thái also attended the ceremony.
The documentary film Division 5, continuing the tradition welfare of the title alcohol soldiers, was filmed and the ceremony recreated a part of the 60-year journey of building, fighting and growing of the Division 5. Over the past 60 years, the unit had achieved many feats in the resistance wars against the U.S. for the national salvation, in protecting the violent, and in fulfilling the international duties in support of Cambodia. And for its outstanding contributions, the division has twice been awarded the title Hero of the People's Armed Forces, along with many other high distinctions from the part in the state. Speaking at the ceremony, General Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa expressed the profound gratitude to the heroic martyrs and generations of leaders, officers and soldiers throughout the various periods, and praised the remarkable achievements and victories that Division 5 has attained during the 60 years of building, combat and development. The General requested that the unit's party committee and commanders continue to innovating their mindset and actions, accelerate the application of science and technology, enhance overall quality and combat strength, and proactively and effectively engage in mass mobilization efforts, consolidating the people's defense posture and strengthening military-civilian solidarity. On this occasion, the People's Committee of TayNinhTV Province awarded the certificate of merit to Division 5 for its outstanding achievements in the national defense and security tasks in the area. Earlier, General Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa and other delegates offered the flowers and incense in tribute to President Ho Chi Minh at the heroic martyrs at the Memorial House of President Ho Chi Minh, the Division 5 Martyrs Monument, and the Memorial South of the heroic martyrs of Division 5.
TayNinhTV Provincial Military Command led by Colonel Ha Thanh Tuấn, Deputy Commander, conducted an inspection of 2025 military and defense task performance at Area Defense Command No. 4, Tân Thành, and the military command officers of Nhân Hòa Lập and Tân Thành communes. The delegation praised the units for their initiative and responsibility in advising and coordinating military and defense tasks. The unit strictly implemented higher-level directives, maintained strong combat readiness, and closely monitored local security and public order. Militia and self-defense force development met assigned targets with improved quality. Colonel Ha Thanh Tuấn requested the units to continue enhancing training, maintain strict readiness, ensure effective and high-quality conversion, and further strengthen the local defense posture to meet mission requirements in the current situation. Ladies and gentlemen, on the evening of November 20th in Ho Chi Minh City, the Korea Chamber of Commerce and Industry Vietnam, or COCHAM, held the 22nd COCHAM Charity Night 2025. The event was attended by Acting Consul General of Korea in Ho Chi Minh City, Wang Jae-hun, leaders of the Ho Chi Minh City Peace Committee, representatives of the Vietnam Fatherland Rights Committee, and officials from several departments and sectors of Dong Nai and TayNinhTV provinces.
This is an annual event with profound humanitarian significance, calling for the support and participation of the Korean business community in raising the charitable funds to assist social welfare activities in Vietnam. The 22nd COCHAM Charity Night raised more than 31 billion Vietnam dong in cash and goods, and during the event, the COCHAM donated 2,250 million Vietnam dong to the Vietnam Violent Front Community of Ho Chi Minh City, Dong Nai Province, and TayNinhTV Province, and the Current Elderly Association in Vietnam also. And the pediatric patients receiving the treatment at the Children's Hospital No. 2. Of that amount, the Vietnam Violent Front Committee of TayNinhTV Province received for 500 million Vietnam dong. The remaining funds will be allocated to support disadvantaged families, build charity houses, assist Central Vietnam in recovery from the natural disaster, award scholarships to underprivileged students, provide debt gaps, and carry out various other humanitarian activities. Since beginning operations in Vietnam in 2003, COCHAM has grown to nearly 1,000 member enterprises, representing nearly 5,000 current businesses investing in Central and Southern Vietnam. In addition to support the member companies and promoting the trade connection between Vietnam and Korea, COCHAM has implemented corporate social responsibility activities for more than 20 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, the tax department of TayNinhTV province is actually implementing Project W3H9 in eliminating the lump sum tax system and system to tax administration based on actual revenue. This is a current step toward realizing the Politburo Resolution number 68 on private economic development, aiming for a transparent, fair, and supportive business environment that promotes sustainable growth for household businesses.
The resolution number 68 emphasizes the building transparent, open, and equitable business environment for all economic sectors. To achieve this goal, administrative and tax reforms, especially for household businesses, the formation of small and medium-sized enterprises are essential. And during this period, the Provincial Tax Department will fully mobilize its personnel and coordinate with the local authorities and technology enterprises to strengthen communication, guidance, and support for household businesses transitioning to the new management model. For decisions under project number W3H9, household businesses in Group 1 or 2 and 3 now must use accounting tools to support the tax declaration. For Group 2 businesses, we provide free solutions for those with the revenue from 200 million Vietnam dong to 3 billion Vietnam dong, such as sales software, invoice software, digital signature software, and accounting tools. And for households under 200 million Vietnam dong, we provide lifetime software, allowing them to self-declare and self-pay taxes. And to effectively implement the state policies, commercial banks also plays a companion role, supporting household businesses in online tax declaration and payment, helping the policies quickly take effect in real life. Sacombank understands our role is to accompany customers in bringing the state policy into everyday life, and therefore, we have actively coordinated with the tax department over the past period to organize consultation conferences guiding the customers in using services that support their business operations, tax declaration, and online tax payment. According to statistics, TayNinhTV province currently has nearly 57,300 household businesses, more than 39,000 paying lump sum tax, more than 2,700 declaring taxes, and over 15,000 below the taxable threshold. And total state budget revenue has reached over 44 trillion Vietnam dong, exceeding 118% of the target assigned by the central government. At the beginning of implementation of this project, taxpayers were naturally worried, and they had never done this before and did not know how it would work. But through the conferences from the 14th until now, the taxpayers have shown high levels of satisfaction. They are complying well, registering bank accounts using e-invoices and following policies. Starting January 1st of 2026, they will strictly implement the new regulations. The removal of the lump sum tax system and the implementation of the project's W3H9 TayNinhTV is a clear demonstration of the province's determination to turn the central part of resolutions into practical action. And this is not only a shift in tax calculation methods, but also a reaffirmation of the commitment to building a transparent and fair business environment, one that enables the private sector to break through and contribute to the nation's broader development goals.
On November 23rd, An Lục Long Camille held a ceremony to inaugurate two newly completed rural traffic routes with former Politburo member and former state president Trường Tấn Sang in attendance. The two routes, Long Trì Kindergarten Route and Long Thành Hamlet Route, were funded by Sacombank through the mobilization efforts of former President Trường Tấn Sang. After 80 days of construction, both reinforced concrete routes were completed on schedule, each measuring 90 meters long, 4 4.5 meters wide with a 5-ton load capacity. The project costs a total of 620 million Vietnam dong, including 500 million Vietnam dong sponsored by Second Bank and 120 million Vietnam dong contributed to labor by local officials, unions, and residents. The project now meets long-standing expectations of the community, improving travel conditions, supporting socio-economic development, and strengthening trade between An Lục Long TayNinh and Tân Thuận Bình of Đồng Tháp. For its contributions, Second Bank received a certificate of merit in Tân Thuận Bình, Đồng Tháp province. For its contributions, Second Bank received a certificate of merit from the chairman of the Provincial Peace Committee. The delegation also visited and offered incense at the Marchers Temple of Battalion 263 Military Reasons H.
Kingdom Green Agriculture Cooperative recently held its 2025 customer conference to review the 2024 and 2025 value chain production model and announce plans for the 2025 to 2026 winter-spring crop. In the 2024-2025, the cooperative linked production on 950 hectares with over 450 members households, focusing on high-quality rice, vegetables, and fruit trees under organic and VGAP-oriented standards. And the average yields increased from 10 to 15%. The farmers' profits rose from 20 to 25%, and more than 85% of output was purchased by the partner enterprises under the share profit, share risk mechanism. And for the 2025 to 2026 winter-spring crops, the cooperative targets expanding to 1,500 hectares, including 1,200 hectares of high-quality rice and 200 hectares of vegetables and fruit trees, while maintaining existing partnerships and adding to new enterprise partners. On this occasion, the cooperative also opened an OCB display and sales center to increase product value, broaden the markets, and support the OCB program locally.
Ladies and gentlemen, history is not only a subject that records time but also the soul of the Vietnamese nation. To how students love, understand, and take in this tradition, the teachers serve as the most important bridge. At Nguyễn Văn Thăng Secondary School in TayNinh Province, one has spent nearly 4 decades tirelessly igniting a passion for history in generations of students. The teacher is Mr. Lê Văn Danh. Having dedicated almost 40 years to this school, Mr. Yan has held many different positions. In the past 10 years, returning to teaching history, he has brought both his passion and valuable experience to reflect life into every lesson. Since I was a child, I really liked history. It drew me to explore the roots of our nation and the heroic battles of our ancestors. I'm very proud, as Ho said, our people must know our history to understand the origins of our country. I find this phrase very meaningful and still relevant today. Over the years, Mr. Yan has not only maintained his love for history, but continuously tried to make lessons engaging and easy for students to observe. For him, every class is an opportunity to innovate and provide students with immersive, lively learning experiences. When teaching, I must really avoid putting pressure on students and within terms, proverbs, and folk sayings related to the lesson to make the class more lively. Students don't need to take too many notes. I combine traditional teaching with information technology to make lessons more engaging. This approachable and emotionally rich teaching style creates a special bond between teacher and students. Beyond gaining knowledge, students feel the spirit of history through every story and detail that Mr. Yan brings vividly to life. He tells stories about the resistance wars and battles in more detail than textbooks, making us feel like we are witnessing the events ourselves. Learning history with Mr. Yan helps me deeply understand the founding and defense of our country. I feel more proud and respect our nation's history, which makes me want to learn more. Beyond inspiring students, Mr. Yan also serves as a mentor for many young teachers through his experience and dedication. For young teachers, he is a source of inspiration, ready to share experience and encourage them. His contributions extend beyond the classroom, spreading a resource of inspiration across the school. At 60 years old, Mr. Lê Văn Danh continues to serve love and knowledge at his familiar school. With dedication and creativity, he has passed on the flame of history appreciation to generations of students, quietly writing new beautiful pages in the noble career of educating youth. Vietnam has introduced the Vita Green Tourism label. With about 30 tourism service providers certified in the first phase, Ninh Bình currently leads the country in the number of businesses meeting these sustainability standards. The Vita Green certification is awarded based on strict criteria for environmental protection, efficient energy use, waste reduction, and community contribution. Businesses are evaluated at 3 levels: standard, advanced, and excellent. The first 3 units in Ninh Bình to achieve the excellent level are Tung Nham Eco-Tourism Area, Ninh Bình Legend Hotel, and Thanh Nga Luxury Restaurant. The Vietnam Tourism Association targets 200 certified enterprises and 30 exemplary destinations nationwide by 2030.
Rescuing forces in Đắk Lắk province continue evacuating the residents from flooded area on the evening of November 20th, but hundreds of households in the eastern communes and wards remain in danger as the high water levels hit rescue effort. And National Highway 1 through Bình Kiến Wood was flooded and cutting off the traffic and forcing hundreds of vehicles to stop, forming a queue over 2 kilometers long. According to the Đắk Lắk Provincial Bills Committee, at 6 a.m. on November 21st, the Sông Baha hydropower reservoir discharged more than 3,500 cubic meters per second of water downstream, and the Đắk Lắk Hydrometeorological Station reported moderate to very heavy rainfall from the night of November 19th to the night of November 20th, with some locations receiving over 330 millimeters of rain. And a large-scale flooding has been recorded across the province, and the disaster risk level has risen to level 4. The authorities continue to mobilize resources to ensure the safety of the residents in severely affected areas.
According to the Ministry of Public Security, Tuy Hòa Sugar Factory, formerly in Phú Yên Province, now in Đắk Lắk Province, had 100 drums of sulfuric acid swept away by floodwaters. Each drum has a capacity of 20 liters and is color blue or gray. This chemical is extremely strong and dangerous as it causes severe burns, tissue damage, and health hazards if talked or inhaled. Therefore, the Ministry of Public Security advises that anyone who finds the drums should not open them and must immediately report them to the nearest authorities for safe handling. The Orange Border Guard Forces of Đồng Tháp Province and Special Forces of Rê Vân Province frequently conduct bilateral patrols and inspect border markers and boundary sites, especially during the flood season, to ensure the integrity of the border marker system and maintain border security. For the past several months, rising floodwaters have turned fields into vast expanses of water, with many markers and boundary sites submerged. Recently, Thương Phước International Border Gate Broadcast Station of Đồng Tháp Province, coordinated with the Khao Roka Border Protection Police Station of Rê Vân Province and Cambodia's Border Guard Community, to conduct a joint patrol. Coordinating bilateral patrols with the border force on the opposite side is a regular and essential task, contributing to the protection of the national border marker system and safeguarding national sovereignty and border security, especially during the current flood season. Patrol work is extremely challenging. Our unit and the border protection force on the opposite side have overcome these difficulties to complete the common mission. Due to the floodwaters, both sides had to use non-motorized boats for patrols. They inspected 4 main border markers, 6 auxiliary markers, and 12 boundary sites that help define the borderline. For deeply submerged markers, the forces on both sides had to dive to check their condition and ensure they remain intact. In this border plan, the most important task is to inspect the border section during the peak flood season and as the water starts receding, ensuring that the national border marker system remains intact and in its original condition, and promptly reporting any issues to higher authorities. On the Vietnam-Cambodia border, Đồng Tháp is the first province to complete the border demarcation and marker planting with Revon province. The province has built 16 main markers, 101 auxiliary markers, and 30 boundary sites that clearly define the borderline. Along with professional duties, Đồng Thap's border guard stations also actively carry out external relations activities to strengthen friendship. Through each patrol, besides inspecting the border markers, both sides also exchange information related to the border area. We also share experiences and ask about a tourist family, which have strengthened the bond between the two forces. With the motto, brighter, flexible, human, and serving the people, Đồng Tháp Border Guard continues to uphold its tradition and strengthen comprehensive cooperation with Cambodia's border protection forces. This contributes to safeguarding border sovereignty and building a peaceful, friendly, cooperative, and sustainably developing border area between Đồng Tháp and Revon provinces. And now that's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.